Okay, in that case, we'll call the Critical Area Commission Chesapeake Bay and Atlantic Coastal Bays uh, Commission meeting to order. And just start by welcoming everybody to this nice spring day and 1st of March. Before we do the roll call, I want to get a little housekeeping on it out of the way here. And state that the Critical Area Commission is holding this meeting virtually using Microsoft Teams and will be streamed live to the public. The public will be able to view the meeting from the Commission's website, and the meeting will be closed captioned. Minutes of the meeting will be provided on our website. All microphones will be muted. We ask that you hold all questions and comments until the end of each presentation. Please announce yourself by name and when speaking so that the attendees on the phone can identify you. If you are joining the meeting by phone, press *6 to unmute yourself. The public was invited to submit written comments on any agenda item up to 24 hours prior to the meeting. Those comments, if received, will be read by the executive director at the appropriate time. Now, Kate, if you'd call the roll, we'll get rolling.
Okay,
so we can call this meeting the Leonardtown meeting, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, close. The town meeting. How about that?
Yeah.
We have in attendance today Commissioner Eames, Commissioner Ferguson, Commissioner Gerthofer, Commissioner Grant, Commissioner Greer, Commissioner Hewitt, Commissioner Laird, Commissioner Lewis, Commissioner McCarthy, Commissioner Mahoney, Commissioner Malkus, Commissioner Mangum, Commissioner Parker, Commissioner Taylor, Commissioner Herr Cornwell, Commissioner Hertz, Commissioner McCall, Commissioner Mulkey, and Commissioner Robertson. Is there anyone I missed? I think I got it. You can go ahead, Chairman Deegan.
Thank you. We'll start with the approval of the minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Mahoney.
Thank you, Commissioner Mahoney. And
second, Commissioner Grant.
Thank you, Commissioner Grant. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
The minutes are approved. So we'll, this will probably be one of the fastest meeting for the spring anyhow. And we'll start with our program committee, and presenter would be Annie Sakarik, just doing a refinement for the town of Leonardtown. Annie, you there?
I am, and hopefully you can hear me and see my screen.
We can.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you, Chairman Deegan. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Annie Sakarik, and I will be presenting a text amendment for the town of Leonardtown. And I would like to note, I believe we have representatives from the town on the call to help answer any questions that you may have. So quickly for reference, the town of Leonardtown is located in St. Mary's County. The town boundary is outlined in red on this map. The text amendment being presented to you today is Emergency Ordinance number 215. This text amendment will amend the growth allocation section of the town code to correct minor errors inadvertently enacted by the town's comprehensive review and to specifically allow for the use of growth allocation for new intensely developed areas or IDAs that are less than 20 acres. The IDA development section in COMAR allows a local jurisdiction to propose an alternative standard for IDAs less than 20 acres if the commission approves the alternative standard as part of the local program. Without such a standard, a new IDA must be at least 20 acres or make up an overall area of IDA that is at least 20 acres. The purpose of allowing for smaller IDAs is to provide a local jurisdiction with the flexibility needed to accommodate certain commercial, industrial, or institutional uses as consistent with the comprehensive plan. This proposed text amendment will allow a new IDA to be less than 20 acres, provided that the area to receive growth allocation meets the standards listed on this slide. This language is similar to that which the Commission has approved in other county and municipality critical area programs. And you'll see in my next presentation that this alternative provision is applicable for a growth allocation request currently being proposed by the town. And with that, I will turn it back over to you, Chairman Deegan.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions? Seeing none, it's pretty straightforward. So I will recognize Sue Greer, the chairman of the program subcommittee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The program subcommittee concurs with the chairman's determination that the Town of Leonardtown Emergency Ordinance Number 215, which amends Section 60-7 of the Town Code, may be processed as a refinement to the Town of Leonardtown's Critical Area Program. Further, that the proposed changes are consistent with the purposes, policy, and goals of the Critical Area Law and Regulation, and as such recommend the chairman approve the Town of Leonardtown's Emergency Ordinance Number 215 as presented.
Thank you very much. I'll accept that recommendation, and that'll be my final decision. Did a good job on that, Sue. Okay, next we'll stay with Annie Sakarik and go into the refinement for the nursing home in the town of St. Leonard.
Great, thank you so much. Again, hi, everybody. I'm Annie Sakarik, and I will now be presenting the St. Mary's Nursing Center growth allocation as requested by the town of Leonardtown. Once again, we have representatives on the call to help answer any questions that you might have. Here, as you previously saw, are a couple of maps of St. Mary's County showing the location of the town of Leonardtown. The proposed growth allocation site is located at the intersection of Maryland Route 5 Point Lookout Road and Maryland Route 4 St. Andrews Church Road. This aerial shows the current critical area boundary. The subject parcels, Parcel 2 and Parcel 57, are outlined in bright blue, and as you can see, the site is partially located in the Resource Conservation Area, or RCA, as shown in green. Here is the aerial slightly zoomed in, and you can see that Parcel 2 is currently developed with various abandoned structures, and Parcel 57 is currently developed with a commercial office building and parking lot. Parcel 2 is owned by St. Mary's Nursing and Rehabilitation Center Incorporated and zoned Institutional Office District, while Parcel 57 is owned by Valley Investments LLC and zoned Commercial Office District. I'll go into more detail about this in the next few slides, but St. Mary's Nursing and Rehabilitation Center Incorporated is proposing a construction project mostly in the open field on Parcel 2. Around here, if you can see my pointer. Quickly, here are some images from our site visit back in 2021 with the town and consultant showing the current conditions. You can see some of the dilapidated structures and get a better idea of the existing forest and field composition. So as I alluded to, the town is proposing to construct an assisted living and memory care facility. However, for a new institutional use to be established at the project site, growth allocation is necessary for both parcels. Therefore, the town is requesting growth allocation to change the designation of 12.67 acres from RCA to IDA. This is a zoomed in copy of the site plan, which was provided on page 3 of the attachment to the staff report. You can see the limit of disturbance, or LOD, in yellow. The red line here represents the critical area boundary, the 1,000-foot boundary. There are 2 buffers delineated on site. So we have one on the left-hand side that's been expanded for steep slopes, and one on the right-hand side that kind of follows the LOD. And then also shown on the site plan is the parcel boundary for Parcel 57, and you can see that a portion of the LOD runs through this parcel. So as part of the minimum local program requirements, a growth allocation application must meet the development standards for the proposed critical area designation, which in this case is IDA. The main development standard in the IDA is stormwater management. There are no lot coverage or forest clearing limits. A submerged gravel wetland is proposed to meet environmental site design and critical area 10% stormwater management requirements. All projects in the IDA are also subject to the standards and criteria for the buffer and other habitat protection areas. This project proposes some minor impacts to non-tidal wetlands, but MDE has determined that authorization is not required. And there is temporary disturbance to the 100-foot buffer in order to remove existing lot coverage. A buffer management plan was provided showing that all applicable mitigation and establishment requirements have been met. So in addition to the general development standards, a growth allocation request must also meet the growth allocation standards outlined in the state law and regulations. The growth allocation standards are location-related requirements that a property must meet in order to be granted growth allocation. These standards include locating a new IDA in a manner that minimizes impacts to HPAs and optimizes water quality benefits. The critical area law also requires a new IDA to be located in an LDA or adjacent to an existing IDA. However, as mentioned in my previous presentation, the critical area law does allow a local jurisdiction to use a provision that varies from the state standards if the alternative standard is consistent with the jurisdiction's comprehensive plan and the commission has approved the standard as part of the local program. So with the approval of emergency ordinance number 215 from my first presentation, the town will not only be able to use non-adjacent growth allocation, but they will also be able to use growth allocation for a new IDA that is less than 20 acres, provided it meets the standards listed on this slide. The St. Mary's Nursing Center growth allocation proposal meets this alternative standard, as well as the other standards noted on the previous slide. And the full list of standards and associated descriptions can be found on pages 3 through 5 of the staff report. Along with reviewing the standards, the commission is also required to consider various factors when reviewing a growth allocation request. These factors include whether the growth allocation is consistent with the goals and objectives of the town's comprehensive plan, if it uses existing public infrastructure, if it has an overall economic benefit, and whether the proposal considered the environmental impacts associated with coastal resiliency. The full list of factors can be found on pages 6 through 8 of the staff report. In addition, we requested preliminary comments on the proposed growth allocation from our state agency commission members. The comments we received are found on pages 9 through 10 of the staff report. The Maryland Department of Agriculture had no concerns. DNR noted that all appropriate reviews have occurred and that there would be a net positive economic benefit to this growth allocation, but they also noted that additional tree plantings and other best management practices around the facility and associated development could provide additional stormwater management and water quality protection. And finally, the Department of Planning found the request to be consistent with the town's comprehensive plan. Thank you, and I will turn it back over to Chairman Deegan.
Thank you, Annie. Very good job. Do we have any questions on this? Seeing none, I'll recognize the program subcommittee chair, Sue Greer.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. The program subcommittee concurs with the chairman's determination that the town of Leonardtown's growth allocation, as shown on the site plan and accompanying materials accepted by the commission staff on February 14th, 2023, may be processed as a refinement as the growth allocation meets the required standards for new IDAs under Natural Resources Article 8-1808.1C, COMAR 27.01.02.06-3, and Chapter 60-7 of the Town of Leonardtown's Municipal Code. Further, the growth allocation request is consistent with the purposes, policies, and goals of the Critical Area Commission, and as such, recommend the chairman approve the growth allocation as presented.
Thank you very much. I accept that concurrence, and that will be my final decision. Good job, Sue. We're rolling today.
Good job, Annie.
Yes. Annie always does a great job. We before I forget, I want to welcome Jim Palmer. I can't tell from my screen. I believe he's sitting in today. He's going to be our new representative from the Department of Commerce as soon as we get his letter. Jim served before, so he's very familiar with the commission. I'm glad to have you back. Next, we'll go to Mike Grassman, who's got a very short update and an extension for the town of Perryville.
Thanks, Chairman Deegan. Okay, just let me know if you can see my screen, please, and hear me well.
The only thing from separating you from a very nice afternoon is your presentation.
Well, we'll make it quick then, all right? Thanks, everyone. I'm here to request an extension on the critical area mapping update for the town of Perryville. Frozen, it seems, of course.
You're doing good.
Did the slide progress?
No.
It has not yet.
I think you have to wing it.
All right. So just to go through this, the local jurisdictions are required to approve and update their critical area maps within 24 months from the date the commission transferred the summary draft maps. The 24-month deadline for Perryville to approve the maps passed on January 28th of 2023. The town was unable to meet this deadline due to the fact that they are revising the town's critical area ordinance in conjunction with the mapping update. The town expects to adopt the proposed mapping update after a public hearing on April 4th, 2023. As such, the town of Perryville is requesting a 90-day extension to the critical area map update adoption timeline. The new timeline for the local approved critical area maps will therefore be on April 28th, 2023. And the critical area ordinance update for the town of Perryville will be submitted in conjunction with the mapping update. That I will turn it over to Chairman Deegan.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'll recognize Sue Greer for one more motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of the Program Subcommittee, I move that the Commission grant the town of Perryville's requested extension and establish a new date for local map approval of April 28th, 2023.
We have a second to that?
This is Commissioner Taylor. I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Appreciate that. Any discussion? Seeing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye. Yes.
Yes.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much, Mike and Sue. You did a great job on that. We'll go into old business real quick. We have any legal updates from Emily? Good to see you, Emily.
Hey, Chairman Deegan, no, I do not have any legal updates this meeting.
We had one postponement, right? So that's kind of like an update. All right, very good. Kate, do you have anything else? I know we're going to know by the end of next week whether we're going to have a meeting the 1st of April. And it looks pretty good for that right now, but we can't say for sure.
Exactly. Yep. So we'll be in touch with the April meeting very soon.
All right. Well, with that, I want to thank everybody for attending today. We're up to date, which is always nice. And speaks well of the whole commission. So I appreciate that. And I guess the only thing I have left is say enjoy this great afternoon. And thank you very much. We'll stand adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.